Shalom, shalom. All praises be to Yahawah, Baha, Yahawashi, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of GMS that rule well and teach well and sincerely taught us this truth. Shalom to Tabernacle of David, 144,000 men, as well as the 1/3 men, women, and children. All right. It's your brother Yoram Kazak coming back with hopefully another edifying lesson. This is on the ceasefire, which was just passed recently. Okay, so, it's nothing but peace they calling for, but we know it ain't gonna be no peace, man. Let's get this. Run it back.
Will those in favor of the draft resolution contained in document S/2024/254 please raise their hand. Those against? Abstention. The result of the voting is as follows. 14 votes in favor, 0 vote against, 1 abstention. The draft resolution has been adopted as Resolution 2728, 2024.
Alright, Khan, Shalom, Yahawah, Bashim Yahawashi, Barak, Ahtham, to all that's coming in. So, man, they should have been did this, right? Ceasefire. You just been letting the peace signs get, basically, man, popped, shot up, whatever it be. Okay? All right. The resolution put forward by Algeria, Ecuador, Guyana, Japan, Malta, Mozambique, Sierra Leone, Slovenia, South Korea, Switzerland calls for an unconditional release of all hostages on all sides. Russia attempted to put permanent into the ceasefire language, but the U.S. voted against it. Okay? Because this is a ceasefire temporarily. And look at this clown, man. Okay? In response, Netanyahu immediately said he was canceling his trip to the U.S. Why? Because the U.S. didn't vote against it. They only abstention. What is it? Abstention basically means to abstain, to just refrain from voting at that point, basically. All right. The UN Security Council has passed a resolution calling for all immediate ceasefire in Gaza for the month of Ramadan. The resolution passed 14-0, with the U.S. abstaining for the first time. So Netanyahu, who, if brothers have been paying attention over the years, the U.S. always sends billions of dollars to Israel. Okay? Because, man, Israel runs the U.S. All right? So you supposed to support who you've been supporting, right? But I love to see Esau turn on Esau. Let's get a couple articles on this. All right. Get this out of here. All right. UN security, everything we was talking about. The U.S. decision not to vote on the resolution drew criticism from Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel, Yahawah, who ordered a delegation to hold back from a planned trip to Washington. So that man's in his feelings. He's not coming no more. Okay? Intentions are about to rise. And this is all prophecy, man. The United Nations Security Council on Monday passed a resolution. This is yesterday, 13 hours ago. Passed a resolution calling for an immediate ceasefire in the Gaza Strip during the remaining weeks of Ramadan, breaking a 5-month impasse during which the United States vetoed 3 calls for a halt to the fighting. So, man, that's how evil the U.S. is. Okay? They let it continue. For all these points in times, they let this fighting continue, and they never wanted to stop it. But now, it is what it is. Okay? The resolution passed with once again, 14 votes in favor and the U.S. abstaining, which means they're not in favor of a ceasefire. They just abstained. They just didn't vote, which U.S. officials said they did in part because the resolution did not condemn Hamas. In addition to a ceasefire, the resolution also called for the immediate and unconditional release of all hostages. I doubt that will happen. And the lifting of all barriers to the provision of humanitarian assistance. And I doubt that will happen. Right? Why did the man cancel his trip? Because obviously he's not with it. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel immediately criticized the United States for allowing the resolution to pass and ordered a delegation scheduled to go to Washington to hold high-level talks with the U.S. officials to remain in Israel instead. So he said he's canceling these important talks because, you know, these politicians have such important talks. He's canceling it. President Biden has requested those meetings to discuss alternatives to a planned blah, blah, blah offensive into Rafah, the city in southern Gaza. All right. Where more than 1 million people have sought refuge. American officials have said such an operation would create a humanitarian disaster. Mr. Netanyahu offers called the U.S. abstention from the vote a clear departure from the consistent U.S. position in the Security Council since the beginning of the war, and said it harms both the war effort and the effort to release the hostages. That's wild. So since they don't want to unalive innocent bystanders anymore, come on, man. What war effort? You're fighting refugees. You're harming and destroying families, children, women don't even have weapons. You're bombing them, and you're forcing them to leave their own land. And it's really not Netherlands, none of them people's land. But you're kicking them out, forcefully. How you've done everybody. All right, Amalek? This is how you carry out everything. So let's get a couple scriptures, man. First Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say, peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. All right? A so-called, it's not even a treaty. It's just a ceasefire. You can have a ceasefire for what? And this is only for, as you read the article, this is only for the remaining weeks of Ramadan. All right? And I'm not too, key on holidays with the Muslims or none of that, but let's look up Ramadan and how long does it last. Ramadan, evening of Sunday, March 10th, 2004. Dang, to April 9th? Oh, wow, right after the eclipse. So right after the eclipse, the fighting is going to continue. Okay? This is how long the ceasefire will, supposedly happen. But I don't trust Israeli. I don't trust those people over there to actually stop. I don't trust those people, man. Ramadan is intended to be a time of spiritual reflection, self-improvement, and increased worship for Muslims. All right. The first begins at dawn and ends at sunset. In addition to abstaining from eating and drinking, during this time, Muslims abstain from sexual relations and sinful speech and behavior, etc., man. Just their version of the feast of unleavened bread. That's all it is. All these religions across the world, they gotta copy us. All right, because this shit is fake, man. All right. So, fasting and all that, like a Day of Atonement or whatever. It's like a however long it is, a month. Yeah, it's a month. Like a month of a Day of Atonement in a sense, where they fasted and all that. But peace and safety. It ain't no peace and safety. It ain't gonna be none of that. Okay? Israel, it's over for you. Because what's gonna happen now? if they go against this ceasefire, then the UN will be forced. They will be forced. They have to be. Just off of the basis of what just passed. And all these nations came together. So if they go against this ceasefire and they just continue to do what they've been doing, then that's basically like they're the big bad guy and nobody can stop them. All right? So let's get back to the article. Let's pick another one. Let's get the BBC one. It might read the exact same, man. All right, UN Security Council passes resolution calls for Gaza ceasefire. Pretty much the same stuff. And the releases of hostages, like, we're going to see, this was passed yesterday, man. We're going to see if all of this takes place. So stay in the news and stay watching to actually see if they carry this out. And like I'm saying, I don't trust the Amalek. I don't trust the Amalekite as far as I can throw an Amalekite. I can't lift. I ain't that strong. All right. It is the first time the council has called for a ceasefire since the war began in October, after several failed attempts. This council has tried to call for a ceasefire 3 times. And the U.S., as we read in the last article, the U.S. has vetoed every attempt. That's showing you how much power the U.S. has in the UN. Okay? They basically the big bully in the UN. And NATO. If the U.S. does not say so, then NATO ain't going to do it. Look at what happened to Germany with their pipeline and everything. Look at what happened to Germany. Okay? They can't go against the U.S. If you don't get in line with the big bad wolf on the block, you will be handled correctly. That's how the U.S. operates. Look at what's happening to Haiti right now. That dude, whatever his name is, Barbecue, right? When Yahawashi interviewed him, he had a Masonic symbol on his neck. You can go back to Elder Manata Zapbog's video and watch it. He had a Masonic symbol on his neck, representing the Masons. That's letting you know he's a plant. All right? Barbecue, right, is a plant. Over there giving power to take down a nation. As you've seen, right after the Juicy Juice, when the president of Haiti did not want to give his citizens the Juicy Juice, what happened to him? He was assassinated. Or you could just say he passed somehow, just coincidence. But it was right after he did not want to give his citizens the Juicy Juice. He said, nah, I'm not giving my people that. Okay? He stood up to America. Hey, don't do that. You better be careful doing that. All right? You better be careful standing up to the big bad wolf. You remember what happened to Gaddafi? Look at what happened to Cuba. Look at what happened to Mexico. Look at what happened to all these countries that stand up. Look at what happened to Saddam Hussein. Look at, we could go through the history of all the nations that this country has messed up. They trying to do it to Russia. Y'all think that was really ISIS? Come on, man. They took credit for it, but we know, brothers that have research, we know who funds ISIS. We know who maintains ISIS, who funds ISIS and gives them their weapons and their financial stability. None other than the big bad wolf on the block. All right, controlled opposition. Wouldn't this make sense? You create an opposition and then you say that it's a war going on, and then so you can send your troops in and you can maintain the region. Right? That's what the whole 9/11 situation was about. Create a terrorist front so then you can send your whole people in. Watch that movie American Sniper, right? And you see it was nothing but propaganda, man. And who said it? Amawan Abad said that. Said because he did some time in Iraq and over there. And he said every time he was fighting, it wouldn't be the locals, it would be hired, paid troops that he would be fighting. hired paid troops. It would never be local Iranians or Iraqians. It's always hired paid troops. That's in ISIS or Al Qaeda. Who's paying them? Who got the money to do that? The U.S. Okay? Start going into these terrorist groups. Hamas? Who you think funded Hamas? The Israeli government. Yeah, for controlled opposition. This has been proven. And there's countless stories that have came out, man. All right? I'll get that for you. So, and we have the insight to understand that all of this is set up. That's why when we see these news articles, ceasefire and these treaties, and we laugh at it. Oh, peace and safety, though. That's what we talking about. Peace and safety. It ain't going to be no peace and safety. They want peace and safety for the remaining of Ramadan. It's not going to happen. That's why Netanyahu canceled his visit to the U.S. because he said, I'm not with that. I'm not stopping. I'm going to continue to bomb these people and destroy these people and ruin lives. 2 Thessalonians 2:4, coming from the brother Kakama, who opposed and exalted himself above all that is called power, or that is worshipped, so that he as power sitteth in the temple of power, showing himself that he is power. You are not Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi. All right? And we could take that over to Isaiah 14. Most definitely. That's his position, man. Okay? These secret counsels, Isaiah 14:12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Your so-called Illuminati, your so-called Bilderberg group, your so-called Masons, your so-called, yeah, we could name them all, man. Council of Rome, Club of Rome, the Jesuits, you know what I'm saying, the Society of Jesus, okay? You know, if you go into these things, you'll see that they pushed the name across the world, and they had it pushed across the world so these people would worship that name, all right? A name doesn't just, you know, these wicked families, Cesare Borgia, all of that, going back to that. Secret societies. This is what you know as Lucifer. The so-called enlightened ones. All right? They know what's really going on. They know that ISIS is a front. Hamas is a front. At the end of the day. For the Lucifer, son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Aren't that's what they doing? The wicked rule right now at this point in time. Isn't the nations weakened? Is this how we supposed to live? No. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, a kingdom, a rulership. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like Yahawah. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. This place Babylon, man. You're going to get what you deserve. We can get that in Psalms, man. When the pit is dug for the wicked. Hold me, what is it? Keep me from the adversary. I'm going to get it after this. Okay? They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man? Oh, so it's not an angel. Because, Wacky Tacky Christian Church teach you that Lucifer is an angel. It does not say anywhere in here that he's an angel. All right? It does not say anywhere that the sons of God were angels. It don't say that in when you go to Genesis 6th chapter. That's the thing. You gotta, if people were just adding stuff, like, yo, hold up, bro. Where it say that in the scriptures that he an angel? You gotta show me that. It don't say that. Nowhere. All right? They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? And that's what he did. He shook kingdoms. He's shaking kingdoms at this point in time. Esau Edom still rules through fear. He always rules through fear and his sword, which he is blessed with. That's his blessing. All right? At the end of the day. That's why they can't just get rid of him. Because when that time comes, he got that mindset. If I can't rule, everybody gotta go. So he'll nuke the, you know what I'm saying? And that's nothing but the spirit of Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi, being that he want prophecy to be fulfilled, being that, prophecy has to be fulfilled at the end of the day. All right, we'll get them. I'll get them for you, Akian. Jeremiah 49:10. But I have made Esau bare. Exactly. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. How do we know all of this stuff? Like, bro, we do we have freaking Secret Service or espionage or CIA backing us? We just some local, you know what I'm saying? We the poor wise children. That's what we are. How do we know all of this stuff? Via Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi Ba'ashem Kakadash. At the end of the day. All right, the Holy Spirit. All right, the elders. All right, the breakdowns have been given to us. The understanding have been given to us. Okay, the blueprint which was taught before us, the labors of men before us. We have stepped into this. This is how we know. The congregation that we are in. All right, the brotherhood. This is why it's key. Once again, we don't got no CIA. We can't discover the secret places. But I have made Esau bare. This is Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. And they already step over their tongue. The wicked fall over their tongue. So you can watch their movies, and Esau gonna tell you half the stuff he wants to do in his movies. Who makes a movie like Leave the World Behind, man? Telling you that he's gonna cut off the grid, telling you that he's gonna basically poison the water and poison all this stuff, and produce war on his own people, on his own nation. Who else would do that but a madman? Once again, going back to that analogy, man, Esau is that villain. He is that villain that's sitting there talking and telling you his entire plan, like you can't stop it. Because, hey, we can't, at this point in time, we can't rise up and fight Esau, on physical, carnal means. Spiritually, though, Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi will make us the battle axes. Certain brothers will get that spirit, will get those powers, right? Then it will be that appointed time. But you can't bring that appointed time on your own. We have to wait. This is part of the captivity. Waiting and watching and lingering and sitting in the punishment. This is part of it. All right? His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. All right? It's Esau Edom, man. You look around, only the elites, which is Lucifer, the people in the know, live it up. Okay? That's why you got hillbillies, you got all these, regular ass Edomites that don't even understand nothing. They don't understand nothing, and they caught in the entanglements. They caught in the traps. All right? And the elites, once again, Lucifer, they will sacrifice their own people for their own gain. That's why they cause experiments and tests, and they don't give a damn about their own people. All right? And this is who we want ruling the earth. Man, we tired of this rulership. All right, let's get that Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Once again, showing it's no such thing as free will. Everything that this nation has done, Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi has made for it to be done, ordained it to be done. It's no such thing as free will. You go back to the book of Daniel. Yahawah told Daniel, I appoint all the kings. All right, we know that Yahawah appoints all the kings. Every kingdom that was ever set up, all the powers that be. Let's go to Romans, man, real quick. Romans 13. All right, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. For there is no power but of Yahawah power. The powers that be are ordained of Yahawah power. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power resisteth the ordinance of Yahawah, and they that resist shall receive themselves damnation. You resisting where he set up. It's in the scriptures for Babylon Biden to rule at this point in time. That's in the scriptures. It's in the scriptures for Trump to do what he's doing. It's in the scriptures for Putin to be in that old Soviet Union spirit and to come forth and to bring forth the nukes. All right? Kim Jong-un and Xi Jinping, all of them dudes, man. All them kings, because that's what they are. Presidents, kings. They're set up by Yahawah, by Hashem, Yahawashi. Isn't his determination to gather the nations? Right? So, and that's once again getting back to us being the poor, wise children. We got that blueprint. We got that understanding. We can sit here without fear and know that Yahawah, by Hashem, Yahawashi is going to prevail and his men are going to be protected. All right, we get that Psalm 64 coming from the brother Kakama. 64:8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. You got the blueprint. We got the blueprint right here. And then we also got Esau Edom letting us know. Oh, Civil War movie comes out April 12th, right? He's letting you know what he want to do in this country. And he's been showing you countless years, man. You go back to the movie I Am Legend. When did that come out, man? Like 2000. It was young. It was early, right? That's what he wants to do. Look at New York. New York is already turning into a New York City mall. I said this yesterday. New York City mall was closed because of theft, because of the migrants. The Northern Kingdom is up in New York fucking shit up, man. That's what they doing. And then they getting paid. They getting paid between, I think it's between $2,000 to $10,000 a month. Dang. I just shoot. They get treated better than us. All right. Ezekiel 37 has awakened the lost sheep of the house of Yasharahla. Yeah, some of the sheep are, definitely awoke. Brothers is awoke. Coming in that righteous spirit, right? A lot of brothers have zeal, just got to get the knowledge and get to walking in it correctly and properly. And right now, if brothers can't understand and see these prophecies passing, then I don't know, you live in a dream world. All this stuff is taking place right now. And it's your pa to see it go forth. All right? Psalms 49:11 coming from the brother Kawam. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. Exactly. They think they're going to live forever. That's what they want to do with this sea hip. And they call their lands after their own names. Africa after Scipio Africanus. America after Amerigo Vespucci. Right? All these lands. Asia, I forgot his name, but it's after freaking Edomite. Right? All these lands, man. So they basically conquer these lands, and then they're like, oh, well, we're not going to land. This was the land of Ham. Now it's the land of Africa now. All right? This was whatever it is. Nah, this is this. We don't care what you called it. We don't care that you live here. We discovered it. But we live here. Nah, we discovered it. But we live here. All right? That's their feelings towards you. That's their exact feelings towards you, man. Matthew 12:26. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. Now shall then his kingdom stand. That's why looking at Israel, looking at Netanyahu, and looking at the U.S. have a disagreement, we smile with a big Joker smile, man. We smile. We're so happy about it. All right? The water. That's it. Asia, Asi, son of Kotis. All right, and I need to look into that even more. What Asia was named? That's his name, I guess. The water. I'm gonna look into it. You know, and we smile with a big Joker smile, seeing Putin go against, just seeing Putin go against Biden and all of this. You know, all these countries, which is nothing but Edomites, seeing them go against each other. Why wouldn't you be happy at that? You should be ecstatic. Yeah, we rejoice. You should be ecstatic because you know that the end is coming for this kingdom, for this old heaven, right? This old rulership, a heaven being a rulership, a kingdom. The end is coming for this place at the end of the day. So, you know, I'm going to go back to that article, then we're going to wrap it up. And we'll get one more article. Let's see. Let's get to CNN, man. Yeah. Devastation in Gaza as Israel rages war on Hamas. Etc., etc. The UN Security Council passed a resolution called for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza after the U.S. abstained from the vote. After the vote, Israel's foreign minister said, oh, he said this, it will not cease. See? And the plot thickens. It will not cease fire. Okay. And that's what I was saying. I didn't know he said that. That's what I was saying. He's not going to do that. Hey, it gets deeper now. It will not cease fire. So he canceled his trip to the U.S. and he said they will not cease fire. So basically, Israel is going against the UN Security Council. So what are you doing? You're pushing his hand. You're pushing their hand. Now, the UN has to step in. Or they just what? They getting bullied. So we're going to see what happens. Pay attention. This is important. We're going to see what happens. All right. The U.S. abstention prompted Israeli Prime Minister blah, blah, blah to cancel. Right? And he don't want to have them talks. Let's read through this a little bit. Release around 700 prisoners. So we got numbers now. In exchange for 40 hostages. Okay. Some issues remain. They said they killed 180 people in this raid on Gaza City. They said they're gonna stay until the last terrorist in our hands. So that's their mindset out there. They vowed to stay in Gaza until the last terrorist is in their hands. You created Hamas. So what you mean? You gonna stay until that's basically just control opposition once again. All right. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that, man. Yeah, they in the hand of the living power. Yahawah, Baha, Yahawashi. All right. So, you know, I hope this was edifying. Watch this. Pay attention to this. This may escalate today even more. I believe this to be, I believe this to be the main story by the end of the week, possibly, this whole situation. Because if they say they will not ceasefire and the UN Security Council voted on a ceasefire and you're saying you're not going to adhere to those rules, woo, then they gotta do something. Or they just some punks at that point in time, man. So look out for what Gaza, look out for that. All right. So with that being said, all praises be to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops of GMS that rule well and teach well in sincerity, taught us this truth. Shalom to the tabernacle of David, 144,000 men, as well as the 1/3 men, women, and children. Shalom, these sincere brothers pushing and keeping the works, keeping the laws and commandments and statutes to the best of your ability. I hope everybody's having a happy feast of unleavened bread. All right. Shalom. Everybody have a good day, man. Shalom. Kwam Yashala.